All right, for the 2017 kx450, we finally got all his parts. We got the OEM stator, OEM CDI box, and we got the head gasket kit. But the first thing I'm gonna start with is turning the piston back around the right way, since he put the piston on backwards. Because these is the exhaust, it's for the exhaust valves, which is smaller. The intake valve is gonna be, more bigger, and the intake valve should be backwards towards the throttle body, the carburetor on the kx450. So we're gonna turn his piston around the right way, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so the first thing I did was I turned the piston around the right way to where, the mark is facing outwards. And so I got that new base gasket on it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is put the cylinder on, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the cylinder head on, the cams and everything. So the next thing I'm gonna do is check the valve clearances, then we're gonna go from there. All right, so now we're gonna check the valve clearances to make sure all the valves is perfect. Okay, so the right one, the left clearance is too tight, intake clearance too tight. The right one is too tight. Now we're gonna check the exhaust valves. It's tight up in there. Okay, so the left exhaust valve is good, and the right exhaust valve is too tight. So I'm gonna have to adjust the valves, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the valves adjusted, and as you can see, everything slides through nice and smooth. Through all ends, nice and smooth. Everything nice and smooth. So the next thing I'm gonna do is finish putting the cam cover back on, and then I'm gonna change the stator, put that OEM stator on in the CDI box, and then we're gonna put it back together, then we're gonna go from there. Okay, y'all, so I took the stator cover off, and this is how I found the stator was loose, inside of the casing, and a screw was right here inside, right by the flywheel. And like I said before, the owner said he worked on cars, and he said he put the bottom end together because the bike had a transmission problem, and he told me he fixed it. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna swap out the stators, put the good OEM stator in, and take out this one, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I swapped out the old stator with a good OEM stator. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just put the stator cover back on, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got everything just together, but I put all the electrical stuff on, the flywheel, CDI box, the stator in the CDI box. And as we can see now, the bike has a perfect spark. Good spark. So next thing I'm gonna do is put the spark plug in. We're gonna put some gas, and then we're gonna see what's going on, see what happened. We're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, got everything back together. The bike is together. But like I stated before, I noticed a couple more problems with the bike. He had his oil filter in backwards, which was gonna cause the motor to blow up. And like I stated before, this customer said he actually did the bottom man himself, the transmission himself. And he told me the transmission was switching perfectly. He told me don't worry about the transmission. But after I put everything back together, the transmission still wasn't put in the right way because the bike is not switching gears and it's pretty much stuck in one gear. So the bike definitely have a problem with the transmission again. So he didn't, do it the right way. But other than that, the transmission problem that the bike still have, it still had a V-touch. What do you want to do? It definitely still got that V-touch.